All right.
Look, humans.
Humans, how are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you guys for doing this. I'm so excited.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
That's where we start. Thanks for handling all the issues with me figuring out when do we actually do this. I know it's only a 2-hour time difference, but numbers just
I forgot. I was thinking it was 3. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, either way.
I believe you guys. Well, thank you so much. This is my first video interview for Clean and Sober Stoner. So very excited that it's you guys. Yeah. And I have just really enjoyed listening to your tracks a lot. So thank you guys for putting it out there. If we could do a quick intro. I'm Jipsy. You guys are?
Dead Roots.
Dead Roots.
With enthusiasm.
With enthusiasm, yeah. You wanted
to tell you guys real quick, I figured it out finally. Since I started listening to you guys and the name Dead Runes is in my head, I kept hearing it's Jack White and then Chris Thiele redid it, the Dead Leaves on the Dirty Ground.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, why do I have that song? Dead Runes, Dead Leaves.
There you go.
Yeah, there's some weird things in my background. Okay, so I've got the 3 of you.
Yes.
Take it away.
Right.
Pogues, I'm on bass.
Bass.
On guitar and vocals. Steve, I'm on drums.
Okay, so I have to say real quick, I love the bass. I'm really trying to become a good bass player.
Oh, right on.
Loved the bass since, I heard Fleetwood Mac as a child and never got over it. But this was exciting for me. You guys have a really good balance, in my opinion, of strong bass work, really, really sweet, pretty, inviting guitar and solid drums. Are you guys in any kind of altered tuning?
Sure.
We typically everything that we do in the band is tuned down a whole step, so we're in D standard.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, everything, and then on a few songs we'll do like a drop C. We'll take that D down to C, and it'll be like a D tuning, but just a full step down. Yeah,
I caught some changes here and there that was pretty exciting.
We enjoy messing around with it because it gives us a few different flavors and doesn't always have to be the same. We try not to write too many songs in the same key all the time. We don't want to just be in the same, vocal range or the same spot every song.
Yeah, you want to play around. Well, I understand you guys all got together, started this, was it 2016, and then kind of moved on for a bit to other things and then reunited?
Yeah. I think I had met Steve until a little bit after we did that, but I had a couple of things, a couple of riffs that were kicking around, and then I knew Pogs was going to be able to do something with it. So I was like, I need your help, man. Can we do something? He came in the studio, and it was a really quick thing, just a couple of 3 songs, and then that just kind of got put on the back burner for a few years, and we were playing on other projects and doing all kinds of things. Came into contact with Steve and just kind of revived it in the beginning of 22.
I think so. Yeah, somewhere in 22.
That ballpark.
But yeah, it was a very bizarre. Yeah, I guess 6 years of we were all just doing other projects, and we thought, it was in somewhere pandemic-ish, and we had some time on our hands. We were like, hey, we gotta get back to that.
Yeah,
and glad we did, because this just feels right at home musically for me anyway.
Absolutely, yeah, super fun. We just enjoy writing stuff and coming up with all kinds of ideas. So it's a good time.
I'm glad you guys did. Your projects that you were doing outside of this, were they in the same musical vein or something different?
Actually, all over the place now that I think about it, because you were doing, I don't even know what you call that. Nashville's kind of weird. You get a lot of musicians, even like country guys, will come off the road and they'll have kind of like, metal hardcore bands on the side.
Yeah, different gigs.
So yeah, it does. Nashville tends to pull you towards country and other things, and I don't think any of us had to play country.
No,
but no, it was various degrees of rock.
Everything from like cover bands to original projects to people that were like, hey, I've got this. We had a couple of people that were asking for EDM tracks and things. Like, hey, can you do a guitar thing on this? And I was like, sure. I don't know what you want me to do, but just kind of showing up and having an open mind, stuff like that was probably a bit of it. But yeah, we've been in bands a little bit together from time to time or on projects, but this one was the most fun for sure.
Mm-hmm. You guys were all pretty active and just keeping at it until you could come back to this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I have really enjoyed this. I have, I the first track I heard was Hell and Back. And, I played on my big.
How did you find us?
Through Scott Spires, through Clean and Sober Stoner. He said, you might really like this one. And he was right. He really was. And that song in particular, I put it on my big JVC speakers and I'm listening and kept turning it up. And what I found was that, it had this really good driving, made me move, that kind of thing. And the Practice Pain, that's, I'm thinking of the right song, right? Practice Pain is the
song, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm switching ones around. So Hell and Back, I think, is the one that I was thinking. It's time is not the end of pain. Is that right? Something like that.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
I don't know.
So yeah, if you're talking about to Hell and Back, I'm trying to think of where I would be on that one. Probably the chorus.
Time is not the end.
Time is nothing. Endless suffering. Yeah.
There you go. Okay. All right. Got to get better writing my notes.
I'm like, oh, what's the lyric for that? What's the lyric for this one? Sorry.
Yes. Well, I found myself repeating that so I could sing along with that. It really grabbed me. There's a point in that song where there's something you guys do musically that almost feels like an airplane falling. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the bridge part, where it's just a bunch of swirling noise and kind of craziness.
Yes, yeah, it gets like some almost industrial sounds happening.
Oh yeah.
That
there was no traditional idea of any kind of like solo on an instrument or anything on that. We were just like, I'm just gonna make tons of noise, just a bunch of punk rock noise, and let's just use that for this.
Well, it definitely caught my attention, and I think if anyone else had been in the house, they would be like, "Why do you keep playing that?" I'm like, "No, listen, just stand here and listen." But yeah, that really drew me in, and yeah, and then I think back to Iron Song. That's the one that says "Practice Pain," and first of all, great lyrics. Practice pain. It makes me think of life is pain. Anyone who says different is selling something.
Exactly.
But that song, those heavy lyrics, those like somber lyrics, I found that song really meditative.
Mm-hmm.
Was that an intentional? Did that just sort of happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'm writing that. That was the first song we actually wrote as a band when we got together, because we got the Siren EP stuff. We just kind of got that together and learned it. But then when we had time to actually spend with each other, that's when we first started writing. And Iron Song was the first one. And, Raidho is the name of the album. And every song is kind of this journey. It just loosely, it's not a concept record or anything, but it's just a theme throughout the record. And so with Iron Song, I just kept thinking of more of a meditative thing that you had to come back to, that you have to practice, whether that's, a physical thing, a mental exercise, something of, in an idea of like iron sharpening iron. It has to be kind of painful. It has to be something that you really have to work at. It's not supposed to be easy. And that was sort of the idea of that. And that's why the chorus is really just like kind of hitting, as you would hear sparks on iron hitting. The idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the lyrics and the layout of that, just, I think you guys got that point across. You have to practice it. You have to repeat it. You don't get to just try something once and have it be wonderful.
Agreed. Hopefully people put that on repeat.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed that. Of course, you guys know, because I've been sharing it on social media, my Freya just grabbed me. And partly because that's my dog's name, and I really love my dog.
Yeah, you sing it to your dog, right?
Yeah, what kind of dog do you have?
She is, I have a few, but the mama dog, I call her, she is a cattle dog coyote mix.
Oh, nice.
And she is made of magic, and she is wild, and she's with me right now. She's always with me. She is my little shadow, my little demon dog. And I've written songs. So, I've been walking around the house singing, "My Freya," and she's looking at me like, "What?" But that song is just, the breakdowns, of course, are beautiful. Just really, really pretty. Um, the bass, of course, is great. There, there's an aspect in the guitar work a few times that really caught my attention. It felt very much like, let's see if you guys know what I'm talking about. Robin Trower on Bridge of Sighs.
Yeah.
Sometimes I pull out these artist names and they're from before my era. So people are like, "What are you talking about?" But just that, just so pretty and so heavy. Is that someone you guys, any of you, grew up with, Robin Trower?
I mean, sort of tangentially, not really directly. It's not something that I always go to, but definitely like kind of the idea of players. Like there are certain players that I would listen to, or music that I would listen to, and I would say I like their take on things. Not necessarily like, oh, I'm trying to sound like them, or I like their tone, which there are ones that I do, but it's like, oh, I like the idea. I was going for a Robin Trower thing. I was going for a David Gilmour thing. I was going for a, Tony Iommi thing, whatever it is. Like there are times when we definitely would tip our hats or have an idea of like, man, if I was in that band and instead of Robin or instead of this guy, I would have played this. Like,
Right.
God, but just a different, take on it. Yeah, absolutely. But Robin Trout's not necessarily one of my direct influences, but I do appreciate the comments.
Well, it's high praise coming from me, because that album is precious to me. But I really, it's one of those things where there's music for me is so emotional. It's so visceral to me, and this song, it's there's a spirituality to this song, which I'm very interested to know, because the lyrics are engaging. There's almost like, I'm not going to quote them because I proved earlier I wasn't great at that, but but there's almost like some type of baptism happening in these lyrics, or something clarifying, something cleansing and uplifting. Was there something that inspired this, or was just more of an overall using that beautiful ancient idea?
Yeah, as far as the lyrics for that one, it's basically the idea of somebody passing away on. This is more of the metaphysical type journey of a song. Is like somebody's passing away on a battlefield, and so they're having these wounds, or kind of dying. And then Freya is one of the Valkyries that would, in Norse mythology. I'm kind of playing with this. This is not completely and utterly lore accurate, so I don't at me when it comes to the Norse mythology stuff too deep, but
You took some license here, as you should.
yeah, exactly. You took a little bit of license, but Freya is represented in this song as the one that kind of takes you from the battlefield, and it's like, oh, you can breathe again. You can, you kind of come back, and she's the one that gets to bring you from that. So you just describe her, and she's supposed to be very beautiful in Norse mythology, like blonde hair and all of that. So that's what I just is that. And that's a good one.
I'm very glad that there's a cool story to that. It is very story like, this song. It is like sitting down for story time around a campfire. Yeah, I really really like that.
Long hair and purple guitars and really really crazy riffs. I wish that was my story time. That'd be awesome.
I think it could be anybody's story time if you make it happen. So overall, I've enjoyed every song. I have to say, and again, I don't know, sometimes I say these things and I don't know if it's going to be considered a compliment, or if it's going to be an affront. Vocally, I hear so many different things. I have to say, I hear a little bit of Carrie Livgreen, little bit of Carrie Livgreen, especially in this song.
In my head?
Yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever been told that you sound a little bit like Carrie Livgreen from
That
Kansas?
is definitely a first.
No.
A lot of Celine Dion comparisons, but never this one.
I was pleasantly not surprised, um, because I think that is just like a solid. There's like a solid classic rock backbone to what you guys have, but it doesn't stay classic rock. Otherwise, I mean, it'd get a little boring, you know.
Yeah.
No offense to that whole era, but yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys would be like
Times.
that.
We try to avoid boredom at all times when it comes to like writing something. Hopefully, it's not something that you've heard a ton or have heard every other band try and do. Like we want to stick out for sure.
Yes, and it does. But yeah, vocally, I just love that. There's like that strength there, and really, really pretty movement along with the guitar work. You guys are out of Nashville,
Yep.
and have you guys always been there?
Long time. I think it's been 12 or 13 years for me, and I'm the newest.
Yeah,
Okay.
You guys, 20 for me.
yeah, it's 19 for me. Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, at this point, yeah, it's not forever, but it seems like it's been forever since we've been.
Yeah, as I like to say, a goodly while. Um, so this project you're doing, have you guys received really good, feedback? Are people into it, or is it a little bit fringe?
Well, it's both for sure.
Yeah.
For us, we are very happy with the feedback we've been getting.
100%.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We found this little world, and it's all over the world. We're selling records to countries we could not have imagined so far. And it's just funny that people all over the world can find this stuff. So yeah, no, it's just fun to know that people all over the place are kind of feeling what we're feeling, I guess, in some kind of way. Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah.
Humbling too to like have to do that. You're like, oh, we've got somebody in Latin America, or we've got somebody in Europe, or somebody. Wow, they're listening to us. There's somebody in Australia that's heard our stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that just is
Pretty wild to watch it unfold.
yeah, it's mind blowing. Like, I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's pretty surreal. I think the world is looking for this kind of music that is interesting, that isn't, all bubblegum and candles, and isn't all despair. We've got this blend here that you guys have brought together of, you know, I call it like real music. It's real, it's heavy, it's engaging, but there's also like a hopefulness. It's not just making me sad, you know. It's
Mostly, but there's some optimism in there.
yeah. Well, and it's that the life is pain. We got to get used to it, but yeah, but among that pain, there's joy, there is light, there's something there's a reason to keep listening, if that makes sense, and what you guys have done here. Are you guys touring?
Yeah, we're doing little weekend runs. We're just kind of building this up. It's kind of we're still putting it together.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's come at us fast, which is great. We've enjoyed it, but yeah, we're putting together some dates to try and get out from Nashville, as well as do more dates in Nashville. So yeah, we've got a couple of them. I think the most recent one's going to be in early April.
Yeah, we got an Indianapolis run in early April, and then we've got a bunch of unannounced runs throughout the Southeast and Midwest throughout this summer and fall. So yeah, we're putting it all together, but it's little baby runs for right now.
Well, that's excellent. I'm excited to see where it goes for you guys. This is your first album that you're putting together, that you have put together. Your pictures are cool. I like what you guys are doing. Can you guys remind me how many tracks on this album?
8 tracks.
Yeah,
on
8
this one.
tracks.
Well,
Okay.
we got the 8 tracks on the album, but if people can go grab a vinyl, they'll be able. We have the Siren EP as the last side of the double vinyl on our website, or on our merch spot. So you'll have both recordings, and so technically that would be the 11 songs. But yeah, for Raidho, there's just the 8.
Yeah, 8 songs digitally, 11 songs on vinyl.
Oh, that's fun. That's going to be a
Right?
fun thing to go figure out for people. I like it. We I'm excited, and I know other people I've talked to in Clean and Sober Stoner are into it too. But I'm excited to see what you guys end up doing, because this is just solid work, engaging work. I'm playing along on my bass, listening to you guys playing along, and that's how you know.
Absolutely. That's high praise.
That is high praise. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
More coming. We're back in the studio sooner than later. We're just gonna try to keep it moving.
Keep more coming out there, and always forward. So yeah.
Great. Do you guys have? Are you already working on the next project?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's good. That's
In the
good.
throes of that, it'll be part of what we do once we get done here today. We're going to be turning stuff up.
Excellent. That's the way. Always working at it. Well, are you guys still doing other music projects on the side, or has that all come to like a halt because you're doing this?
Okay. Yeah. We finally found the one we wanted to do. It's kind of well started, I think, which is funny. I don't know. We just got pulled in all these different directions, but this is home, the home base for us. It all, I don't know.
That's definitely the way that
it's funny. It took so long to get here. Yeah.
Yeah. That can happen. Definitely, you have to go, like, you know, build up your skill and grow a little, and come back and do something like this. Who does most of the lyric writing?
That'd be me.
Well, it shows, and I figured that because of the way you phrase things vocally, it feels very much like you're choosing your vocabulary so that you can sing it a certain way. Is that just like an instinct, or is that intentional?
There's definitely an intentional point of it, because I've been in a few projects where I was the lead vocalist, and then I've been in projects where I didn't sing at all, and then I've been in ones that I did more backup vocals. So something for me is it can be I don't have the vocalist mindset all the time, in that I'm not waiting around to try and fill the space with vocals.
Right.
Like, we have somebody separate who doesn't play an instrument that does vocals. I would feel the constant need to be like, not here, hold on, right here. This would be the space. And
Right.
so it doesn't feel like everything that we write must have vocal lines over it, or
Mhm.
have certain, kind of confined idea of just like, here's what you sing right here, and then you got to sing something immediately after that. So at least for me, I like to make it something that feels natural in the music when you hear it, as well as when I'm playing it. It doesn't feel like I'm having to rush through something, or any of that. So definitely strategic on my part.
Well done. And I, as a writer, and a lyric writer and a singer, I pay attention to those things, because sometimes you have a great voice. It's a beautiful, beautiful voice. And so,
Glad you like to hear me howl.
Funny enough, remember, I didn't know that sing for the first 5 years.
what was that? I missed that.
I sent Steve sent me an
EP, and I was like, "Who's the vocals on this? Can we get them back?" And you're like, "That's me."
I sent the Siren EP to Steve, because we were just kicking around some things to get together and play on, and he said, "Well, send me those songs." And so I sent the 3 that I had, and he goes, "Man, this sounds great. Who's on vocals? We need to get them. We need to get them in there." And I was like, "Oh, that's me." He was like, "Get out of here! Are you serious? That's awesome." So that was that was like, okay, we're on the right track.
Secret talent. That's great. That's great. And with and I really appreciate that, because I think sometimes when you have a really strong vocalist, sometimes it's like, okay, we don't really know what to do. Just let them keep singing and keep singing. But there's space. You need to give space to the other things, to the bass, which is really driving, and to the fills, the drum fills, the rhythm changes.
The riff is everything,
significant part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys do some very riff driven things, which is always fun. I wanted to ask you, I like asking people this question because of the world we live in these days. We're in a musical renaissance, in my opinion. What genre would you guys call yourselves?
Oh boy. I don't know.
I should have given you this question earlier.
Yeah. Well, Scott, it was interesting. Scott did a little blurb on the record the other day, and what did he say? He said we're not cleanly anything, I think is how he phrased it.
Yeah.
We've kind of tagged ourselves with stoner rock or stoner metal because that seems to be where we fit in the most. AI tells us we're a little bit doom, we're a little bit alt metal. I think Doom Charts told us we were a little bit prog, we were a little bit alt
Waiting
rock.
for that.
A little bit psychedelic we've got at times. I like that it's not easy to nail down, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we would leave that to you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are Dead Runes, like you said at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's right.
I am curious about the name. I love it. I have, runes on my table. I love it. Obviously my dog's name is Freya. I like all things of that nature.
As well. So
Nice. So where did you come up with the name?
I mean, these days there are a lot of bands that have names that are really, really long, and bands that had longer names. And I was like, this patches for this are going to be brutal, or just an idea of like merch to just have a shirt that doesn't have like a. You ever go to like a hockey game and the guys from Holland and his name takes up the whole bag? Like, so much. Like, all right, we just need to kind of simplify it. But I was just kind of interested and fascinated with runes as is, and just kind of like the idea of an ancient, kind of dormant mysticism of some kind. That type of idea was really, really cool. And I found some. We all were kind of throwing around ideas and trying to make it sound like something that we wouldn't be embarrassed about in 10 years.
Well, yeah, it holds. It's got longevity, and it's Dead Runes.
The long-term play.
Yeah.
We were super strategic. We had a board meeting about it. It went really well. We won 2-1, but we won't tell you who
The
it was.
market analysis and all.
I mean, yeah.
No, I really like it. For me, Dead Runes just made me think of how we have these languages that are we have there are dead languages that we don't use anymore, that we don't hear, see anymore, and you have a little bit of that quality in the tracks of something timeless, something medieval in there, without being totally like fantasy. It still feels very present, very now. So I really like it. And yeah, do you guys have patches made yet?
We're working on them. We're trying.
Yeah, we are working on it. We're the demand is coming in, so I guess we gotta sort that out.
Yeah,
we'll get well when we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, patches and stickers, guys, get on it.
Now, stickers we got. Patches.
Yeah.
It's funny, all this little stuff. I guess this is just what you do when you actually work hard at a band, but just having to put all this stuff together by ourselves is just one after the other. We're like, oh shit, we didn't think about patches. Oh no, we didn't think about. I guess we need this and that. So we're getting there. We're building this whole thing.
Yeah. Another thing I'm seeing that people like is pins. Like back, when I was really young, pins that you could put on your backpack or your jacket. So you can get that going.
Oh, you're very right.
Oh yeah, that's another one we need to add to the list.
We'll get our merch game going.
Yes. I expect to see all these on a website soon.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, guys, this was great. I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes for you guys. And just keep making the music. I really like it. I dig it. And my dog tolerates when I sing it to her. So it's good stuff.
It's awesome. We appreciate it. I love the Windhand shirt, too.
Thank you. Yes. Christmas present I got. It's a favorite. It's hard to find, at least I find, it's hard to find these band shirts that are made for females.
Yes.
Yeah, we actually were talking about that recently. Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So tank tops cut for females, guys. Get that. Yeah, I will buy one.
Deal.
Got it.
Right. Thank you, guys. And have fun. Make more music today. No pressure, but make more music today.
Appreciate it.
Deal.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.